to the SL24 podcast. We are here with Domenic DiUbaldo. He is a junior here at the University of Delaware. He is our newest Peer24 specialist, and he also rows crew. Welcome to the SL24 podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to get right into it. Once again, 7 questions, 24 minutes. Try to answer the question as best as you can, and let's get started. Question number 1 is, who are you?
I'm Dom. I started working here in September. Ever since then, I've just had a really good time with the environment here and everything about Sean's house. I grew up from Delaware. I only live about 15 minutes away from campus, so that's always nice whenever I want to go home and steal food from the pantry. But other things about me is I'm on the men's crew team here, so I wake up very early for that. And then all in all, I just kind of try to have as much fun as I can and just be someone for other people here on campus. That's why I joined Sean's house.
Awesome. Well, we're lucky to have you. Did you find Sean's house in any particular way, or was
a personal health management class I took at the university. Oh. And then Zach, our executive director, came in and had a nice little spiel about Sean's house. And I'm like, oh, this place sounds awesome. But bigger than that, he said, oh, we also do events with club sports teams and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that'd be a great thing for me. So then we had an event, but then once we had the event, I kind of thought about it more, and I'm like, oh, this is actually something that I'd like to do. You know, like, it's just volunteering. Like, it's very, like, on your own. Volunteering, doing anything volunteering-wise is great, but now it's just something that's become a part of my life.
That's awesome. Does it align with your major, or?
I'm a finance major, so...
Okay. So, no.
Yeah, it does not align in the slightest.
Okay.
But then again, I always have a good time, and I'm always smiling once I'm here, so works perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. What keeps you motivated? Because you do a lot of stuff. You do crew.
Yeah.
You work here now part-time. You are a student, finance student, can't be easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say, at least in regards to that, what I usually do just to keep my head on a swivel is just kind of keep on trucking forward. You know, you're going to have stuff in your day that you might not like. For example, this was probably going to be my luck, but I'm just going to say it now anyway. Yesterday I got a $60 parking ticket, and I'm not very excited about that, but I'm going to write them a nice email. So hopefully they will take that off. But in regards to kind of going through a day-to-day and everything that I do, I just try to manage it as well as I can and keep myself to a disciplined schedule. Obviously, during the school year, I wake up at like 4:50, go to practice, then come back here, then try to get as much schoolwork done, go to classes and stuff like that, and then I have the pleasure of going here to work, which is very important to me because it's kind of my factory reset, just going through the day. Because then afterwards I'm like, oh, I get to go to work now, but that's an exciting feeling. So yeah.
So routine's important.
Yes, routine and discipline is very important.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. We're going to move on to question number 2, which you kind of just talked about, but what has been a lock in your life? So yesterday was the parking ticket.
Yeah, I would say the parking ticket, but an additional, not as funny one, kind of serious one, I would just say being okay with your thoughts and just kind of going through everything. Like with me, I'm a big overthinker, which has always been a problem of mine, but just kind of letting everything flow and not trying to dwell on everything on every second of the day, which I feel like I've gotten much better at, especially being here. Mm-hmm. But at times I can still struggle with that, I'd say.
Is there anything in particular that helped you to attain that superhero?
I would say not really, just kind of through trials and tribulations, I'd say. I've just kind of slowly found a system that works for me. Obviously, it does still happen. I'm a human being, so evidently I will overthink about some things or dwell too much on the past, but usually just trying to stay present in the moment, I would say, is the best thing to do for overthinkers like myself.
Yeah, gotcha. So is there anything like specific? And you say you have a system.
I would say my system is, I'd say when I'm really overthinking, try to listen to music, or just as simple as calling someone just to get your mind off of it. Mm-hmm. I don't think people truly realize how important calling people is. Yeah. Just because, at least in regards to me, like, I can talk to anyone for any amount of time. Obviously, Sam knows this very well because I won't shut up sometimes. Mm-hmm. But in regards to just trying to get your mind off of things that you're thinking about, I feel like music is, I think Louis Armstrong said music is life. So
Yeah.
I'd say that, and then definitely calling people and just talking to anyone.
Yeah, so a little bit of distraction and like socialization.
Yes.
Okay, what kind of music?
I'm a little bit of everything. Country, Frank Sinatra. I think my Wrapped 2 years ago was three country singers, then Frank Sinatra, then Eminem. So it varies.
All over.
Yes, it varies.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. Question number 4, which is going to be who or what has been a lighthouse for you in your mental health journey?
I would say my mom, mainly. Me and my mom always get along pretty well, and I don't know, it's always an exciting time when I talk to her. I'd say my parents, without a doubt, and then just kind of whoever wants to respond and or listen to what I'm talking about or what I'm yapping about.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say my mom.
So your parents have been pretty understanding?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Any coaches or
Um,
teammates?
Definitely some of my teammates, my roommate Nate, I'd say, and then in regards to coaches, probably my old baseball coach, and then probably my baseball coach.
Okay, gotcha. Is there anything specific that your parents have done that has helped you?
I don't know. I'd say just kind of being there. I feel like sometimes I take for granted what I have, but I think it's very important to just have them, I suppose, or just to have them as involved in my life as they are.
Yeah, so kind of just that unconditional support.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like a listening ear is always
Yeah.
helpful, definitely. All right, well, we'll move on to the next question. If you're helping a friend, what are the top 3 things you would do to support them?
This is a good one. I would say generally listen to them. Most of the time, if they have a problem, they kind of don't want to hear the answer right away. Even if you think, oh, I know how to fix this, or I know how I would go about it. I feel like it's always important to read the situation and kind of know the full story and the extent of what they're talking about. I'd also say just smile, make sure that they're okay, and just dealing with things the best way that they can and the best way that they should. I would say the other thing would be to just try to be as present as you can.
Yeah.
Even if it's just texting them the next day, being like, hey, how are you doing about all that? Or just kind of, not necessarily keep up. I like to call it kind of keeping tabs on people.
Yeah, checking in.
Yeah, nice little check-in.
Everyone loves a good check-in. I definitely know when my friends give me check-ins, it makes me feel 10 times better about,
It also doesn't have to be a serious check-in. It could be as simple as like
what's up?
sending an Instagram reel. Like it doesn't have to be so cut and dry or so serious all the time. Is
there a reason you do those things? So like, do they help you, or is it just kind of something that works?
In a way, I'd say that it helps me too. I'm here, and as of everyone else who works here, we're here because we like helping people. So I would just say it's just something that's about me.
Compassion goes a long way.
Oh yeah.
So you've been a peer specialist here for how long?
Since September.
September?
Yes.
Okay, so you are starting now as a Peer24 lead.
Yes.
Has that helped you in any capacity to be a better friend or be a better son? Or?
I would say it's kind of goes along with being a peer specialist. Obviously, I started as a lead in late December, so it's still pretty early, and then it's a little strange, at least in regards to the winter, just because obviously school isn't in session and there's not as many people coming in, which it's more quiet. So I don't think I'd be able to answer that yet. Maybe after a while, but as of right now, it's kind of the same as being a peer specialist. Other than when I'm here, there's sometimes no one here, and then it gets I don't know. It's when I think to myself, if I haven't seen like any other human being for like more than 2 hours, like I don't know, it's odd to me.
It's freaky. Yeah, yes, I'm the same way. I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
So you went through the training.
Yes, went through the training last winter.
And how was that?
That was good. It was weird. Allie, our previous peer lead, peer specialist manager. I forget what Jean's title is right now.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Initially, I sent the thing way too late. I need to be more punctual. It's one of the things I need to work on.
Yeah.
But initially, I didn't make it, and then I emailed Allie, and I was like, "Hey, I didn't. The form closed because there was too many people on there." And I'm like, I really want to do this. Yeah. Sadly, the form closed. Let me know if there's any openings. And then she said, oh yeah, there's an there's an opening, you're going to be a little late, but you just need to catch up on that. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. And then since then, I don't know, I'm just very happy that I got into it when I did.
Yeah.
And I was able to. Thank you to Allie. Shout out to Allie, who's in the Carolinas somewhere doing grad school. But yeah, I would just say I'm very thankful for Allie, who kind of snuck me in
Otherwise, you'd just now be starting training.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Or we also have training in the spring, summer.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
Summer,
Summer. Yeah.
Gotcha. If you were, well, we're gonna move on to the next question. If you could give one piece of wisdom or anxiety to someone struggling with their mental health, what would it be?
What I like to do to try to center myself is read a lot of quotes. I feel like there's been a lot of great people from history, and then I don't know, I'm a big history buff, but in regards to that, I feel like it's just good to like read quotes and try to like think about those quotes, even if it was like from like 100 years ago to like 1,000 years ago. Like they have a lot to say and to speak about, which most of the time you can just read, I don't know, Socrates or someone like that, and then you're like, oh, this is very profound. But I'd definitely say quotes, and then I'd say just try to talk to as many of your friends as you can if you're going through something, just to kind of, I don't know, it just makes you feel good after you talk to people.
Yeah.
Whether that be about a good thing or like something funny or just something very serious, you know, the in between, it doesn't matter where it's at, but it's just best to be there, to be present.
Yeah, sometimes when my friends are going through a hard time, I will just talk about stories.
Yeah.
Like I'll just tell
or
them.
Just random stuff that has no bearing on the situation. Yeah.
I find that extremely helpful. What kind of quotes though? Like where do you go to the library? Do you go online?
No, I write most of them down. Most of them I've just found through Instagram. There's just a bunch of random ones. I have two on my wall. I'll recite both of them. Why not?
Yeah.
One of them is Robin Williams. Everyone gains a spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. That's I'm paraphrasing, I think.
Yeah.
The other quote is from 10 Things I Hate About You, which is a movie with Heath Ledger, and he says, "Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want." I would say those are the two that's on my wall, and those are the two that I don't know. I always liked Robin Williams growing up as a kid, and then that's my favorite rom-com. So yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
I think it's everybody's favorite rom-com.
Solid.
Well, that's really cool. I didn't know that about you. You're a quote master, so
I do try.
I'm gonna ask you to like bring your notebook in next time you work.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next question, which is, this is important because you are an athlete. You obviously deal with a lot of physical resilience, but how do you obtain or practice mental resilience?
I would say, at least in regards to me, this morning I had an 80-minute steady state workout, which as a previous rower, you know that it is not the most fun thing in the world at all. Not gonna lie, what I did today was I watched Tom and Jerry compilations, so that's what I did today. But in regards to kind of staying mentally disciplined, I feel like the best thing that you can do is just try to do it as much and as often as you can, kind of make it a habit, so then it doesn't necessarily become, it's discipline, but at the other hand, it's also, oh, this is something that I do, like, every day I wake up at this time. It keeps yourself in a routine, it keeps yourself disciplined, kind of humble, grounded, whatever vocabulary word you would like to use, but I feel like just trying to make something a habit slowly brings it into discipline and kind of makes it reality, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're holding yourself accountable as well.
That as well, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's super helpful, and I know steady state is not fun, so it's kind of like a practice, like yoga, where you're not doing it to be perfect every single time. You're doing it to do it. Yeah, you're doing it to do it. What would you suggest for others who are trying to like kind of get that mental resilience, especially when they're struggling or might be struggling with mental health challenges?
I would say start small and just kind of work your way up. You don't have to, most of the time, if you go in just kind of doing like a lot of hard workouts and something that you're not really used to, you kind of get burnt out very quickly. So I would say just doing as little as 10,000 steps a day or just one workout a week, just trying to make that routine and kind of build that mental toughness, I feel like is the best route, just because once you do all these things, it's got to be a slow incline, and then you slowly gain traction, and then you kind of know what you're doing. You're like, oh, on Mondays I do back and buys, on Wednesdays I do Shoulders on Friday, I sadly do legs. Like something in regards to that. I feel like just slowly building a repertoire, to use a fancy word, but just kind of build a system of I do this day, I do that day, and then it's as starting small as doing 10,000 steps a day or just having a workout once a week.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's a really good point to bring up because a lot of people, this month have started New Year's resolutions.
Yes, and then those New Year's resolutions quickly get snuffed out just because of you're doing such an aggressive overload that either your body can't take it and then you get injured, which is bad, or your mind just isn't there and you're like, oh, what am I going to do now? Just because you've kind of hit this mental barrier. But it's much easier to kind of go through that mental barrier if you have a lot of practice and repetition with whatever.
Start small.
Yes.
Start small and build your way up. Don't dive head first.
Yeah, you don't have to swing for the fences. Swing for first. Yeah. Go for first base or second base. Yeah. You don't have to swing. Not every hit is a home run.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so we're going to move on to question number 7, which is from Emily, who was our last podcast guest and our Sean's Room coordinator. She asks, if you were being commemorated by a statue, where would you be and what pose would you be striking?
That's a really good one. I don't even know how to tackle that one. I would say, at least in regards to a statue, I don't know, maybe like reading a book or... Actually, I don't. I try to read more, but I'd say I think there's a new statue in the Capitol of Johnny Cash. Since I'm a big country fan, I'm going to mention that. I think it's in the Capitol. I think it's him. I don't know if it's a Bible or something like that, but I feel like that would be something really cool just to, I don't know, be in the Capitol as a country singer. I feel like that's funny. Yeah. Or I think Philly would be good. I wouldn't want to take away Rocky, but on top of the art building, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the main ones. Or just like randomly in the middle of nowhere would be kind of cool too. Because then you're in like South Dakota and they're like, oh, what can you visit? And then it's like, oh, you can visit this random statue.
Visit town, yeah. I love that. So you'd be reading?
I don't know, just like something important, I feel like. Either like, I don't know, I'm not the Statue of Liberty, but I don't know, maybe a light or something.
Yeah.
Something cool.
A light's very on brand.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not the light. Yeah, I'd say something along the lines of just anything like that at all. Okay. Just something cool, something different.
Yeah. What would it say?
I don't know. If it was a book, maybe, I don't know, the beginning of Declaration of Independence, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
You could be holding it.
I could be holding it, yeah. But yeah, probably something along those lines.
And then what would the base of the statue say?
Oh,
here's Dominic.
Here's Dom. He was cool, he thinks. I don't know.
He was cool, yeah. Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. Thank you for that. We're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to do a speed round right now.
Okay.
All right, so ask you a few questions, go down the list, and you just answer however long or however short you want.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so favorite self-care activity?
I would say working out.
Favorite Sean's house room?
I would say the library. I don't know, I just really like the library here.
You like it in here?
Yes.
Okay.
Best place.
Favorite Sean's house memory?
Memory? For that one, I would probably say being here at like 7:45, cleaning up an event, listening to Funky Town is what I usually do whenever I'm cleaning or doing anything like that. I like to listen to music because then it makes it go by faster, and I also feel like that I'm more efficient. So I would definitely say listening to Funky Town, cleaning, Sean's house after an event, one of the many events that we have here.
That's like an average Tuesday here.
Oh, guaranteed, 100%.
Favorite say or supper?
Oh, I would say Donna is amazing. If no one knows who Donna is, Donna's amazing. Shout out to Donna. But I would say her steak's very good, her chicken's very good. Honestly, I don't think I've ever had a bad meal that Donna has made. But I'd probably say the steak.
Favorite Sean's house dog?
This is a hard one. I'm glad to be on so many shifts that I see most of the dogs here, which is amazing because the dogs here are amazing. I would have to say Dagda, to be honest.
Okay.
Dagda's my boy.
All right.
Do you have one?
Saphir.
Saphir's a good one too. I think I've only seen Saphir a handful of times. And Onyx. Onyx, I've seen Onyx.
Onyx
is just
yeah. I like all of them. We can go down the list there. Favorite snack?
I always like when there's apples here or the Mott's gummies. I don't know. It just always makes me feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say apples.
Morning or night shift?
I would say morning shift just because, I don't know, it's always nice to look out and just kind of see the sun.
Yeah.
So that's always
Or
nice.
overnight.
I don't know. I've only had a few overnights
Yeah.
and not during school hours, so
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little different.
Beach, pool, or mountains?
Can I rank it in an order?
Yeah.
I would say pool is definitely last. I feel like I can have much more fun in the mountains or the beach. I would say beach first, mountains second, pool 3.
Favorite backyard game that we play here?
Backyard game. I would say out of the ones that we have cornhole. We do cornhole a little while, every once in a while. Cornhole's always fun.
Most difficult part about being a student athlete?
Managing time. I would say managing time. I can go on for hours about how I have mismanaged my time and managed my time very well. I feel like now I'm in quite a groove, but definitely before I was not as good as managing my time.
Okay. Favorite part about being a student athlete?
I've always loved the camaraderie of being on a team. I'd say that's a big one. At least with college, there's a bunch of different clubs. All of them are amazing. Frats, sororities, club sports. I've always loved club sports because then, at least with rowing, you're kind of all in it together.
Yeah.
Like there's nine people in a boat total, and then you're with 8 other people, including the coxswain, depending on the boat. But I don't know. Team sports is something that I would heavily encourage for anyone coming to any university at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that ends our speed round. That was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Of course.
Thank you for being a part of the team, and yeah, we'll see you around the house.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.